baby. So I stand up and speak my mind. Oh,
Black pastel, super orange black pastel, cypress without the yellow belly. You see the difference between that one and this one?
Mm-hmm. Look at, come here, I want to see it. Look at that.
She's like, let me go over
So
here.
that's without the yellow belly.
That's without the yellow belly.
She was.
Big difference.
Yep. Pretty, isn't it? Was you imagine taking care of all these snakes?
By myself.
By yourself? Yes?
It will be a little bit some harder, but a little bit easier. Because all you have to do is put them somewhere in the new bin, and then you just need to watch them, clean their poop, and then just grab them and put them back in. It's so simple.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Juneteenth. So if you are home today, you work for an inclusive company. If you are not, you need to work on your HR department and remind them that today is a holiday. All right? All right. I hope everybody had a happy Father's Day. Because, you know, fathers are important. They're mothers who claim fathers. No, you're a single mom. You can never be a father. I truly believe that's part of what's wrong with some of our raising of our children is that the woman has become so independent, we forgot the value of having that man in the home. And although sometimes those situations don't work, the woman also got so independent that we make decisions of choosing to lay with people that we don't want to spend the rest of our lives with. And it's one of the things that I say all the time. I say it to my daughter. I used to say it to my daughter often. You know, you can pick people and say, I don't want to marry that person. But then you lay down and have a baby with that person. You know it's quicker to get out of a marriage than a relationship with the child's father or mother. Once you have a baby, you are committed for at least 18 years until that child say, I don't need that one or that one anymore. So with that being said, fathers, you are necessary. I am a product of having a mom and a father in the household. And let me tell you, I say this to my mother all the time. If I just had my mom, I wouldn't be full circle developed as I am. The things that literally, and I check it every time I see it happen. My daddy still raises me from the grave. It is the morals and the principles. And fathers, hear me when I tell you this. A mother can tell a child, don't, you shouldn't, you better not, all of that. The weight of that, not saying that, you know, we're not worthy, but the weight of that is nothing compared to when the daddy says it. And then when I said the daddy, I'm not talking about the father. I'm talking about the daddy. And to this day, there's certain things I won't stand for because of my daddy, who is no longer on earth. Where to this day, I'll challenge my mother on certain things. I would have never challenged my dad. So just, I said to my husband all the time, I love the relationship he had with his daughter because those things that he say to her in the bedroom, you know, in a whisper will stick to her for the rest of her life when someone is trying to screw her over. So shout out to the dads. I am going to take some time this morning. I just want to make sure Stan, number one stunner. Thank you, Stan. Eric, good morning. Eric, what's up, bro? Are you going to be at Gettysburg, Eric? Hey, Ken. Keys, what's up, bro? Yeah, it's Juneteenth. It's Juneteenth. It's a pot. Maki, are you working today? It is a party. Party. Ha! Tim, I'm so glad you're here. You're on my agenda this morning. Shout out to Tim. Shout out to Kagan. So part of what I'm going to be talking about today is about calling animals. And it was something, honestly, that I read in a morph market conversation regarding this whole Samson Pruitt situation. And there was conversations in there where people was talking about this is why you should call animals. All right, I'm gonna get back to that, y'all, because I'm telling you, one or two things is going to happen. Now, I will tell you that the word call, is the word I think that was used at the particular time that kind of stunned me. The act of euthanizing unhealthy animals, I get. I just want to be clear. So if you are a person who breed ball pythons, like I shared with you guys, when one of my ball pythons laid 5 eggs. One of them were infertile. That infertile egg went to my water monitor, who loves eggs. Okay. And it's great. It's a great source of nutrition for that water monitor. But that is a egg that was not going to ever develop into a life. It was no chance of it even proceeding to attempt life. So I get that. I get when you have a clutch and the animals are deformed and you feed those off to king cobras and you feed them off to water monitors, tables. I get that. That is a perfect way to circle the life and not, so to speak, make it in vain. So I get that too. So I'm going to get more into that. But I want to shout out Tim right now, because y'all know that for me, with this whole Samson Pruitt thing, it has been all the noise around it that just makes me just to stop. You know, I already formed my own opinion. I don't want to hear nothing else, right? I have watched some. I will be honest. I won't watch anything that is R&B related. I am not a respectful. Rodney is not somebody I've ever respected in this community, even from years before I owned Retix. Okay, I knew that is not somebody that is the type of person for me. If you ever watch his channel, it's a whole weird situation, period. I don't understand the whole microphone right here, all of that. It's just weird. It's a weird. Gives me, I'm in my mother's basement vibes. I can't do it. Lucas Bagnera, who is someone I respect, recently joined his Patreon when I started breeding, because he was communicating with me about certain things. Let me support you. I think the way he speaks keeps me in tune, so I just can't listen to him if he's next to Rodney. I can't. But Lucas, I also did an amazing video this week. I don't know if it was public, could have been Patreon only, but I absolutely felt like I came out with more information. And I want to share a couple things that I was confused about myself, that has been brought to light regarding the situation before we get to the calling part, because this is really what this podcast is about. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about Samson Pruitt. If you want to go to www.samsonpruitt.com, Weston Winter was a genius, and if someone new coming to the hobby was to Google any of the Slither domains, it will go to that Slither files, which I am not in. I don't want to be in, because it's connected to negative energy, and not the people who are in that. It's the person who started it. So I'm very particular about picking my circles, y'all. I'm very particular about who I'm rolling with and who I'm riding with, and I'm bold about it, right? I'm not a bandwagoner. I'm not a person that you gonna make flex, flinch, or move. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do, right? So, with that being said, I have watched some amazing podcasts that literally did what it needed to do. It needed to properly inform people on some of the things that we have questions about. I'm going to tell everybody, you need to go to Intrepid Exotics. I don't even care if you didn't give a damn about what was going on before or anything like that. Because I know some people, if you're not in the retail community, you don't really care. But this is more about animal cruelty, not the retail community. What I didn't know is that my friend, Tim, actually worked at Slither. And it's so funny because listening to him and Kagan on this interview, those are the two people that should have been probably the best representation of what was real. But what I love about Tim, being mature like I am, he believes in timing. And he believes in doing it without the noise. Nailed it, Tim. Nailed it. And if anybody who's watching, because I know some people watch me and don't say that you're watching, but if you're watching and you want an understanding of what I was saying about stop all of the noise behind it and just stick to the facts, watch Tim's episode, and that's what you should be sharing out. If you want to get everybody to understand and get all the doubts and all of the confusion out the way, watch that episode with him and Kagan. First of all, she's the first female employee, let me say that I've watched and not side eye, shout out to everybody who's coming out to speak, but I'm a good person of discernment. And one of the things that I do is I watch body language when people talk. I look them in their eyes. Even when I'm on this podcast, if y'all notice, I can't see none of y'all, but I'm looking you in your eyes because I believe in being a matter of fact in communication. The only way to do that is to read people through their eyes and their body language. If you read her body language from the beginning to the end, it was totally sincere. Everything she said, it's not one word that girl said that I don't believe. It's not one word that girl said that I don't feel like she's embellishing because she didn't get a paycheck or something like that. You know what I'm saying? She is dead on. She is a matter of fact, and her role in that company was management. So she can speak on a lot of things. After watching that episode, if there was any doubt about Cass's involvement in this, there is none. So there's no support for Samson. There should be no support for Cass. None. And she is one, like I said to Tim, and y'all know that I respected. I interviewed her and not her husband. Because I wanted to focus on what she was doing, how she was creating her own career. I knew that she suffered from mental illness. That was the first time she ever spoke publicly. If y'all don't know that, she wanted to come on a podcast that was a little softer to speak about herself. We didn't talk about him at all. We acknowledged who she was because we're not going to dismiss anybody's husband. We acknowledged who she was, but we focused on her career, and her career path. If y'all can recall that episode. What's up, Dre?
What up?
Happy belated Father's Day. I didn't know if I didn't think you was going to be on time with all the alcohol that was on the table last night.
Oh my God, that was Saturday.
So please watch Tim's video, and it's one you can watch over and over again. Honestly, Tim just got away, and I've always said it. Even before this, y'all know he's the one podcaster that YouTuber that I shout out all the time because we share like-minded ideologies, and he's not attached to anybody. It's no clout chasing. It's just Tim being Tim. So with that being said, we'll move on down the chat. That's a good one, y'all. So Eric said, hey, KT, you on time for once?
How up, KT?
Shade. Shades. Kara Shay, good morning, my beautiful love. Good morning, Sean. Hey, bro. Happy belated Father's Day. I saw you twinning with your twin. Just want to get through the chat. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. And if I did, I'll. Bosa, good morning, brother. All right, so I think we pretty much okay. No, Nicole, I'm in Florida. Okay, got you. So I've ended my first show this weekend, me and my husband and Michael, and y'all, I got the bug. It was so much fun. What I would tell you, Dre, the educational part in the show as a vendor was what I enjoyed the most. Like teaching people about animals. Like people come up here and say, "Oh, how beautiful the animals are," and you know, "Mommy, I want one." Let's talk. Right? This snake is this size now. But in less than a year, and then we had a picture of mom and dad, and you know, just to see people reactions and get them a full understanding was fun. But I have the bug, and so I will definitely be doing Gettysburg, in what's that, July 15th. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
And then I would definitely try to do one of the local shows at least once a month. The hardest part of the show for me is packing the animals up. And let me tell you, I'm glad I took everybody's advice because I packed them up. I think what I'll do differently is that I put them in bags, and you know, retics they're very wise. At least two of them learned how to get out of that knot, but they were still within the big tub. But I don't like retics and deli cuffs because, you know, retics like to do this, and I want them to be able to do that. So the advice was putting them in a bag and then putting them in the big bin and, you know, making sure that's tight was perfect because there was two loose retics 45 minutes later just sitting in the tub chilling. But my retics were amazing. People could just pick them up. We didn't have to use the hook. They were just perfect animals. Although we taught people, you know, how we use the hook and why you should hook them and how to read the different body languages and how the fact that some of them, if you have food around, you know, you would notice a different response compared to others who have not really developed that food response yet. They just eat. But it was a lot of fun. Anybody, I doubt if I ever wanted to do shows. Y'all know that. The biggest part is worried about the biohazards. Although this venue, the reason why we did the Northern Virginia one, it's so big. It's so like you're not right next. You're not so up on people and things like that. And we just took precautions, making sure people held the animals. You know, I was very honest about why I wanted to clean their hands and stuff like that. But it was fun.
That's what's up.
Hey, Elias. Good morning, bro. I missed y'all show yesterday. I got to go back and watch it to see what kind of shenanigans y'all were on.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, one of my faves. Good morning, Jeremy. Haven't had coffee yet, but good morning. Believe it or not, me neither. I haven't had my coffee yet. I just wake up with this kind of energy.
I'm still on the sluggish train.
That's because you was drinking like a banshee.
Oh my
I have
God.
to get to work. I don't have a real boss. Sorry, Stan. Loser boss. Tell your boss he a loser. Yes, Tim podcast on Samus was so Elias. See, because Elias always coming for me talking about I don't like the millennials. I do. Kagan is clearly millennial. I just like people who just not messy. I like people who, especially in a situation like this, you need those hardcore, innocent facts for it to be believable and to transition the people who still supports the man. I can't see how anybody. That's the point I'm tripping off. If people keep saying they're worrying about people who support him, who are those people? Who are those people? And I'm not talking about friends who still talk to him about life, you know, or tell him about, I'm not talking about that. I don't think nobody who was a friend of this man, friends don't just cut friends off like that, but I wouldn't be buying nothing from you, Dre. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be buying nothing from me, Dre. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my whole point.
I think that's the difference. Number one.
Yeah, Maki, he's been a cancer for a moment, and I just think that some people took an opportunity to try to make themselves, I'm gonna use MJ word, relevant this time, opposed to getting the facts and sticking to the mission of making sure that no new keepers, or not even new keepers. When I got my dwarf, I had never known those pictures existed. We knew about the dog fighting. You know that, Dre. We talked about that, and the man had a conversation about his redemption and all that other stuff. Tim addresses that part of it. Just how, if you don't know any better, he's good at convincing people of what he believes, type of thing. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that. But we're gonna get to the calling part, because that's the other part of this that I do have a lot to say about. Jeremy said, watch the interview last night. Thank you for that. Yeah, Tim, it's National Geographic over there anyway, but it was a damn good interview. And if any doubts I had, like, why, if his facility is that bad, animal control still didn't do anything. Well, according to watching that video and listening to Kagan, animal control would come, but they would do nothing. So that's an issue, because that was one of my questions. Like, how the hell is he still in business? And if the state of North Carolina didn't, take action through animal control, then that's one of the reasons. He can just mosey on down to South Carolina and start the same cycle over and over again. So this is why Lucas and others are so fixated on making sure the message keeps banging, because nothing has been done through the proper channels. So understanding that, got that. Now we understand better why it's asked to be shared. But Tim also talked about the median in that, how you should go about that, how you should perceive that, and what context needs to come with that. Just great. just great. It's not something you want to miss. It was a long time coming. Some things just need to be time to prepare. I totally agree. I absolutely agree. I think when people have knee-jerk reactions, that's where the noise comes from. And my favorite thing my daddy's always saying, I say it to this day, nothing comes of noise but music. Good morning, Jamie. What? My daddy in the house. Daddy in the house. I said daddy in the house. Oh, one of my favorite reptile people. Again, because Danny don't sugarcoat anything. He shoots straight from the hip. If it hurts, get up, dust yourself off, and try to come back. Love you, Danny. Hey, Uniquely. Kagan is an awesome human being, hands down. Clearly, like, I felt so bad for her. I can imagine being her, where listening to other people, I really couldn't. I kind of felt like you kind of put yourself there, so to speak, and then took too long to react, or what was your motives going in? Like the whole part of sleeping with them, like, that's like, what was your motives going in? That was way past a job, day one. Shout out to Kagan, and I feel so bad for all the crap that she had to put up with as a manager in that shithole.
It sounds like some Tiger King shit.
I think it's worse.
I mean, as far as
at least the Tiger King,
but not even him specifically. I'm talking when they started talking about Doc. When they started talking about Doc Ansel, this is what it's starting to sound like.
Got you.
And you know what was funny? You know where that was? South Carolina.
Got you. Yeah, it's just, I can't believe that. Again, in Maryland, if someone called Animal Authority and they came in here and saw a dead animal, it would shit. They came in here and saw I don't know. Like Maryland's just very eerie about stuff like that. Even with dogs, you can't. People call about an illegal dog or a dog that you're not supposed to have in a certain county. They come in, they taking action, they taking the dog. This is I don't know. Good morning, fam. Sorry I'm late. I'm off, so I slept in. Happy Juneteenth. Yes, Don D got a real boss. Don D got a company who understands the importance of diversity and inclusiveness. Yes, everyone have a blessed day. All right, so let's go ahead. I always feel like I'm in church when I watch this show. Yeah.
Pastor Nikki.
All right, so what time is it? It's 8:29, so we're going to do our prayer real fast for Brian Barczyk, and then we're going to get into it. Father God, here we go. Another Monday. We come to you in prayer for our brother Brian Barczyk. We ask that you continue to keep him fighting this cancer. We ask that you keep him enough strength that he can indulge in the joys of his Reptarium on a daily basis. And most importantly, Lord, we ask that you continue to keep him in faith and believing that he will beat this. We know that if you have the right mindset, your body will respond. If you continue to work with your mind and your heart to fight any fight. God, we ask that you bless Lori. We ask that you bless all of his employees yet another week to keep them strong and ready to just do all the extra tasks that may be on them now to keep those animals healthy in the Reptarium. We ask that you do this and all things in your name we pray. Amen. All right, so as we prayed on life, let's talk about this part. So, calling animals. I actually pulled up Google's definition of calling. Let's see if y'all can see it. Yeah. So to call, select from a large quantity, obtained from a variety of sources, and a selective slaughter of wild animals. So a fisherman are to campaign for a seal call. Now, when I heard that, y'all, it blew me away because we're talking about a person who's letting animals die, right? But then on the same breath, we're talking about killing animals. So I had to sit back because, again, my initial reaction is like, fuck whoever does that. Like, you're just as bad as that man, in my opinion, when I first heard it. And then I really looked into, like, one of my cousins was saying that, she does chickens and people always tell her to call chickens. So I related to, with me, I breed ASFs and I breed rats. And y'all heard me say over and over again, even when those rats get old, they have to die off naturally. I cannot gas them and freeze them, right? Because I love animals to that extent. The rat is not a least, although I get it, it's the food for my animals, right? But even then, when I have to feed them, it's like a funeral in here. It's hard for me to do it. Sometimes the larger ones, if I'm feeding off one of the larger ones, I can't do it. I got to get Michael to do it. I can't do it. Michael, get that one and give it to the boa, because that one has, like, when rats get older, you can start to see the quality of life changing. And so at that particular point, we will give them, as part of the circle of life, feed them to the boas. But it's hard. And it's hard to select which ones is going to go. So the issue that bothered me with the calling conversation is, if you producing so many animals that you have to kill them off, why are you continuing to produce animals? And that's the part I need understanding with. So if anybody in the chat who actually looked into this deeper, or if there's anybody in the chat who actually does this, can you help me to explain? Because this is the part I don't have a problem with, the part that a breeder at some point said, damn it, I have too many animals in here. And in order for me to reduce the amount of time and manpower that it takes to take care of these animals, I'm going to call them to use them as a natural food source for a king cobra or something like that. My only issue with that is, why are you continue to produce animals? If you made that decision, if you had to call animals, why are you producing another set of 60, 50, 40 eggs? Why? Because that's where the problem comes in for me, because the context on the other side behind it that people had issue with is that they were stating that some breeders do that. They take the lesser value animals, like they're breeding them to try to get these world first or whatever the case, and take the lesser value animals and calling them. If you're doing that, you are a monster. You are no different than Samson Pruitt. If you're killing animals and then you'll continue to produce more animals, trying to get a specific animal, you are no better than Samson Pruitt. And I'm going to say that over and over again. So if anybody want to give context to that, and Dre, what did you come up with on that? Like, what was?
The research I did, I looked up the history behind culling anyway, and it initially started with farmers, and they would do it to isolate a certain pathogen or disease that they didn't want to get to the rest of their animals. So exactly, so seeing that, or even because when you brought it to me, I was just like, I was confused. Like, people are doing that. Like, it's one thing just killing animals, but to make it a method of breeding exactly is the problem. And even through more research, I found out zoos do it. A lot of animal institutions do it, and the fact that it's even a new term that I learned recently that's going on in the reptile industry is crazy, because that tells me you don't care about your animals. You chasing money.
I can't, Dre. Even if you remember, I said I just hope she don't have a lot of eggs, because I'm gonna have to, keep it. Never was it a conversation of anything other than me having to raise them and finding good homes for them. Mm-hmm. Killing them would never be an option. And I don't even know how you can look at an animal and choose which one is less important to live in that situation, right? To do that. Like, that is just the most inhumane thing that I've heard. So my message is, if you're calling animals because you've produced too many, stop producing. You have now reached that mark where you cannot handle breeding any additional animals. That's it. Why are you still breeding?
In the first place.
Why are you still breeding? Why are you still breeding? So if you are a person who calls animals and you see this video, can you please DM me, help me better understand? Because I'm really big on educating myself when I don't know. Like, sometimes you can shift my mindset if you make it make sense. And it makes sense that if you have infertile eggs, to feed them off to an animal who can benefit from it. It makes sense if you have deformed animals, to ship them off to someone with king cobras to feed them off. It makes sense if your animals die naturally. It's enough daggone animals that die during breeding naturally, I am sure. Especially in the reticulated python community, because you're breeding so many. I'm sure. To create a store for king cobras. Because, king cobras do eat. I get snakes, although they can't eat rats and all of that, but I get it. Naturally, that's what they will be eating. I'm not against that, but what I am against is someone who's saying, oh, Dad, I got 40 eggs, and out of 40 of these, 30 are rainbow and 10 are normals, and let's kill off the 10 that's normals. Okay. Or the person who say, damn, I had 40 clutch, nothing is in here that I wanted in this clutch. And so therefore, I'm going to call these animals, but I'm going to breed these animals again to see what comes out of it. Mm-hmm. You are no better than Samson Pruitt if that's what you do. On facts.
know better. I mean, but there's a lot of people that's
Danny,
unfortunate.
you said Danny.
I seen it. YouTube didn't like my response.
Danny is so crazy.
YouTube didn't like my response, so it didn't post.
Is it not technically calling rats at that point? So yes, technically that's called. That's why I say you can relate it to that. But well,
I feel like it's the same.
No, I think Maki is talking about when the rat gets to a certain age, and you have to, you feed them off. You feed them off at that point, Maki, kind of like if you have a dying dog, especially for me. Like my rats are more than 2 years old before I feed them off, and you can clearly see the like you can see that the animal is at that point that it's not the animal it used to be. It becomes a little bit more lethargic. It's not the animal. It's not producing anymore or anything like that. So yes, and that's what I said. I understand that. What I can't do is go in there and take 30 of my healthy rats that I breed that's live and gas them, which also a lot of breeders have to do that to produce food. I get that.
But I still think that's different when we're talking about.
Well, it is. It's different
because 9 times out of 10, those rodents are being bred for food.
Well,
that's
right.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it makes sense when you talk about it in essence, when you think about the situation when somebody's, breeding, let's say retics, and they're trying to go for ocelots and they only got 2 ocelots out of it and the rest are het. And then they're getting rid of the hets and keeping the 2. That's a lot different.
That is very, very.
But I understand what you mean. Also, with you don't want to gas the rats and everything like that.
No, I've never done that. There's no gas in here, and there's times where my animals will overproduce. But fortunately for me, I have like different setups where. Because I also have boas, and I'm never gonna because I don't overproduce rats either. Like I produce just enough to feed my collection to keep me from having to spend all my money with my feeder breeder. I probably have to see him every other week for certain animals, like my I don't breed rabbits at all. I get them from them 110% from the feeder breeder, but I produce enough to feed my collection, and so I won't have to get into the practice of gassing them. However, for those breeders who do have a breeding rat facility, they have to call continuously, but they are literally calling them animals to ship them for food source to someone else. So this is the frozen laws that you're buying, right? They're calling them for them reason, not just because I overproduce them and I don't want them. That's not why they're doing it. That is totally different opposed to people who are continuously breeding reticulated pythons or any snake for that matter that overproduces eggs, and knowing that you don't have a customer base for it or a particular care for the genetics that it produced, that to me is insane to then at that point say, okay, well, you're not worthy, so I'm gonna kill you off and what? And I'm gonna produce again to see what comes out. That's insane to me. That's madness.
So that's another thing where it talks about the controversial reason behind culling animals is that it's selective. The person who's doing it selectively chooses a certain animal,
right?
Which is another reason why I don't think breeding rats would fall into that, is because
because they taking all the rats.
It kind of is, but it's more so like if someone's like, hey, I need like the largest rats, the smallest rats. Okay, in that instance, okay, I guess, but it still doesn't amount to be the same for me.
Not at all. And I think too, like in the context of like using the Samson situation, the issue is not the overproduction. Just that. It's just the care of the animals, like even the overall animal base, not just that particular animal base. right? It's the overall animal base. So you're not taking care of an animal is horrible, period. You know, he's not calling them because I can't take care of them. And I'm not saying that that's what that has never come up in the conversation. I don't know if that's what he did. I know that he killed or let animals die off and probably buried them in the back like Jeffrey Dahmer or somebody. I don't know. But I can say that for anybody who's doing that as a practice, you're breeding and you're killing them and you're breeding them and you're killing them just because you're not getting what you wanted in the production and or because you don't have enough housing places for them or you're stretched and caring for them. That's monstrous. That's monstrous. So the person who calls the first time should never have to call again, in my opinion.
I mean, but even then, it's just like I still don't. I mean, when it comes to what we do, I still don't see a reason for it.
And if you're calling them, are you shipping them to someone? Or you just calling them and doing what with them? Like, say for instance, are you calling them and you saying, hey, Kevin, I know you got them cobras up there. I got 200 Burmese pythons that, you know, you probably could use. Are you sending them that way or you just burning them, disposing of them? Like, I would love someone who, you know, to really touch bases on a deeper sense of what that looks like. So for a person like me, I'm not looking at you with my side eye. I'm not looking at you while you sitting here talking about the monster of Samson Pruitt, but I'm calling my animals because I didn't get the right genes. Yeah, Nicole giving you the real Nikki T side eye. So I don't know what that's about. But I will say that I get it in the sense of maybe I'm not going to say I get it. Maybe it happened at some point and you realized overnight I'm here and that was your solution. I don't know how you can do it. Like, I don't know how you can say you love animals and do that, period. There is not a baby in there, whether I produced it or got it from somebody else, that I can euthanize it because of space. We would have to figure out some more space.
I think what makes it worse is the simple fact that when you get into breeding, most people kind of know what odds they're looking at. So for the simple fact that you know what possibly could happen and you still prepare or you still think that that's the right choice is the problem. So it's kind of like, it's almost like a premeditated decision, which is why, honestly, for me, I don't think there's ever, especially in the reptile industry, there's no reason for it.
Oh my goodness. You know, Danny, stop that. You know, people believe that about Koreans. Yeah, so I mean, and that's, you know, basically, you know, what I wanted to talk about today. And I just encourage anybody, if you can give some more light, if someone want to come on, maybe with something we can talk about on reptiles and cocktails. If you're watching this and you say, hey, I would love to come on, just DM me. Let's talk about it. Give me a greater understanding of that process. Because right now,
and I'm gonna have questions.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to have maybe, like I said, maybe it's something that I have not thought out yet. You know what I'm saying? You could maybe you can teach the girl a little something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so many of y'all be focused on trying to teach me the wrong things. You can't teach me nothing about reticulate pythons. I'm just saying, I am so glad I studied them for myself. I am so glad that I did my own psychological assessment of them, and I'm so glad I had the relationship that I have that a lot of people told me that I would never be able to have. I'm so glad. So don't bother with that. Don't give me no tips on that. And if I need a question, I'll reach out to the people that I need a question, and that's going to be breeding. It's not going to be husbandry or keeping them. That I got that. But you know, I will say that with all of this stuff that's going on right now, I think that everybody should, at this particular point, agree in the reptile community that Samson Pruitt should never exist in our space. He should never exist in our space. But again, I still have a question. Is Cass on Animal Con? Can you Google that? Can you Google to see if Cass at Animal Con?
As far as I know, she was. I'll check.
I mean, because she was the headliner. Is she still the headliner of Animal Con? Because if that happens, that's a problem.
As far as look.
Because I think we are focused so much on, like, so what I can tell you, what I do know, when I talk to Samson and Cass, well, I can't remember when I think we did the interview, was it about a little over a year ago? Samson in his head already knows where he's still in the community, I believe. And then Cass became the face, really, for Slither Inc. So we can.
I don't see her on here no more.
Okay, good.
It goes in alphabetical order, but
So
I don't know how updated it is though.
Well, she was there, so if she's gone now, then someone address the shit, because that to me was going to be absolutely a smack in the face. Like, we can sit there and, like, me and you, Dre, we talked about, we didn't know what her role was, and because of when she met him, and again, Tim and them touched on this really, really good. A lot of people talking about, you know, the grooming part. I'm not buying that. Like, if you went and you met that man and you looked at him and decided, I'm gonna get in the bed with him and his wife, please don't give me the grooming part. When if you come on, I'm just gonna sit there. Like, some of I think that the people who are using people to have these conversations needs to check the credibility of some of the people you have in the speak. Because if you're dealing with certain people like myself, if it wasn't for Tim and Kagan and Lucas, like, a lot of this would still be noise for me. Not that I would buy anything from him. I think we made that decision. Even you ain't had to scream that once you seen the first picture. Like, no, you know, that would never happen. But my whole thing is that when you're trying to educate the masses, you got to remember the masses is not a bunch of messy people. Some of the masses are people who literally tread in factual information. And for me, like I said, the source matters. Y'all would believe me greater. Let me see somebody that everybody knows I'm not a big fan of. Come on, Dre. Q. If I came and told you that, well, no, you would believe it. Let me talk to the audience. If I came and told y'all certain things about Q, because y'all know that I'm not a fan of him, right? And I said everybody should leave Black Reptile owners because of that one person. Y'all know that I'm not a fan of him, right? So you might like, well, she don't like him, and that's why she's saying that. Opposed to Tim saying, this was my experience with this person, and everybody should leave Black Reptile owners. Then it becomes a little bit more believable because he has no skin in the game. It's just the facts. It's just what happened, and people can make a very educated hypothesis about that. So if someone don't pay me my paycheck, I might not be the most credible person to talk to about their integrity or anything else, because I'm mad that you ain't get my money. If you want to change my king, if you want to change how I feel about you, don't send me my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, Maki is now all Maki is a totally different person. It went from loving Maki to hell with Maki if Maki don't pay me my paycheck. So I think that using credible people, like I said, has no reason to just tear somebody down. There's not a history with that individual, makes a total difference. And again, shout out to Tim. I want everybody, if you got time today, after this podcast, to go over to Intrepid Exotics and watch that video. Watch that video. There was another video, and this one, it was very informative, but I couldn't take it seriously because it was funny as shit. It's three guys. Is it Tip Reptiles? It's three guys who were sitting in a facility, and they were talking about all of this. They had all the notes and everything, but they made it like a comedy hour. Very informative. Maki said, "Why me?" Because Maki, everybody knows I truly love you, so I'm trying to use it as a way of saying how quickly our relationship can change, and my perception of you could change if you screw me on my money. That conversation from Love and Maki will be something totally different at that particular point. Just saying. I guess it's the millennial in me. I'm believing victims of people like Samson, because if you abuse animals, you're damn sure abuse humans as well. Yeah, but the part that you got to think about as a millennial is what abuses you want to walk into. You can't convince me at 20 years old, 22 years old, 25 years old, 30 years old, if you already knew what you knew after a week of working there, and then you are invited to enter into relations with this couple, and you do, and then you walk away from that and you have negative things to say about it. Like, I don't know. Like, for me, that person is not as credible as Kagan.
I feel like it's also irrelevant to the situation. We have proof of the animals.
Exactly.
We don't know what happened behind closed doors, and even then, if it comes out after, is everything goes sour. It's just me personally. I'm a millennial, y'all know that, but I was raised to look at the entire situation. So if I don't have all of the facts, or if I don't have, if it's made to look a certain way, I can't just go with what somebody's saying, because even given my own life experiences, I've seen people close to me will sometimes say and do anything to not make themselves look bad, because they don't want to admit that they're wrong in the situation. So I get what you're saying, Elias, but unfortunately, it's not always that black and white.
Yeah, no. So, but he right. People who, if you would kill an animal, my mom used to say that all the time. A child didn't kill an animal, kill a human. My mom used to say that all the time when we were growing up. I do believe that, but my part is the part of, at some point, the man was worthy enough for and I don't want to bash any of the victims. So let me be careful when I say this. But I have to be honest. It's easier for me to listen to the person who was the manager, right? Who really would challenge things and try to so another thing I would say about Kagan. She never, to me, ever intentionally said anything that was like her responses compared to other people. When someone said something bad about it, something that happened, Kagan didn't laugh. She got teary-eyed. Oh my God. When Tim would mention a certain instance, you would see this girl just swell up in emotions for the animals. When someone would talk about, remember the animal we saw, blah, 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 you saw the emotions. She didn't have to say anything, opposed to, laughing with the interviewer. No, if you're really abused, ain't shit funny. For anyone who has been abused, it ain't never funny. If you were really abused, it ain't never funny. Every time somebody will talk about that particular part of the story, you should have an emotion behind it. It ain't never funny. Everybody reacts differently to different things, but there is not one person I can find that who really felt that they was put in an abusive situation. And I'm not talking about the animals. I'm talking about humans who would laugh when someone bring up that moment of abuse. It's not a natural reaction. Females get pussy. Wait a minute. Sometimes I hit the comment and I don't see it first because it's blue on the screen. Females get pussy away, then want to be embarrassed. You know you popped it for your rewards. Don't play with me. Yeah, Maki, keep it real. And I'm not saying that things don't change. A lot of times we get in relationships, male and female, right? And we reap the benefits of it, and then it goes sour, and then we realized how bad it was. But then say I really love this person at a point. I enjoyed sleeping with this person at a point. But then when they didn't pay me my paycheck, that shit went down the drain. I'm all for that. Because that would be facts. Like I told you, I wasn't always a wife. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't, I don't care who you are, we got an agreement and you don't give my money. I'm going to say things differently. Things are going to be a little different, and we just need to keep it real. So again, the source of the information is important. So one of the things that Tim addresses, and again, y'all got to go watch it, is what I love is that Tim didn't, he very professionally didn't take no cuts on that, like how he felt that the information was being delivered, how he felt some people were being opportunistic, and so did Kagan. And Kagan could have been talked about this. She had more information than anybody because of her role, and she didn't. She waited. She knew it was important to wait. Like sometimes you cannot have a knee-jerk reaction to things because then everything goes downhill, and then you can't bring some people back. Thank God I watch different people. Thank God I know Tim. Thank God I watch Intrepid. Whenever something pop up, I got to see it, because that one was the icing. Not El Maz was already made up last week, as you can see. That's not what I'm saying. But that was the definite piece that everybody needs to see. Like if you got people who are on the fence, they need to see that video. And that's going to be the video that gets them all on the right side of the fence because there's no noise in it. It's all facts. And it's all facts that were very well thought out in how they were explained. They were not just spewed. They were very, very methodical in this conversation, into the fact that they could have went longer and they decided that we're going to cut this off right here. And Tim, please come back. With those type of people who, like you and Kagan work together there. And then like Kagan herself, like I would love to just have that conversation, with her, but she looks so comfortable with Tim in that conversation. And I just think that that's what we need. Two people there together. And you can see them remembering things at the same time. It was no doubt, it's just crazy. Y'all have to go and see that one. That one is the nail in the coffin for sure. I've been manipulated and played with. That shit make me hot. Don't play with me, and I'm never gonna say I just accidentally fell into something. We're grown, and we have to take accountability, especially when we move ourselves. I'm just saying, like, just we need to watch the sources a little bit too. Better watch your mouth, Maki. We in church. Danny is crazy. I'm not going to lie. At my big age in therapy, I do make jokes about my past abuse. I got to do better with that. No, Elias, you might make jokes about it in a sense, like if you're talking to me or Maki, someone you're comfortable with, right? But I'm going to give you an example. That day when we were on, when you was on Rocks, y'all was doing your show, and the conversations we were having, those emotions you had were real. Those are the emotions that comes out when a person really, really goes through something, right? And they're talking to people that the masses. They're not talking to you and Maki, but you and Maki in a room over a drink, and Maki may understand the laugh, or because sometimes you do have what we call nervous energy. But if I made a joke about what we were talking about that day, at that moment, which none of us would have, because we can see like the natural emotion, right? All jokes stopped at that point. If y'all go back and look at that chat, as much as we were joking and everything, when we saw that emotion, that shit stopped. That was stopped for an interviewer because they see that emotion coming through you. And if it didn't, the interviewer try to stick on that subject and make light of that, I would become offended. And you will become offended, and you should become offended. So that's what I mean. I'm not talking about like, you're in there with your therapist or someone you really trust. Yes, I think like, Dre, we can talk about certain things, and you can be dead serious. You can be emotional. I can be emotional, and we might laugh in the emotions, but it's not going to be me making jokes, to kind of build on that type of thing. So absolutely, guys, I get that, but you can definitely see the difference in what we call raw emotion.
Maki, you ain't got no usher finger.
I can't.
She ain't got no usher finger.
See, this is why I don't go to church. I don't need to. No, I mean, I just think church is different now too, though. Church is more about money. Like I
for
stopped
sure.
going to church when they put the ATM in the aisle. That was because you can't even use
What you
excuse.
got going on in Baltimore?
Oh, so he in Atlanta now. So Brian, the whore preacher. When he was up here in Parliament Temple, they started putting the ATMs.
Bro, like, look,
I have change, I forgot my wallet.
last preacher I heard about was my boy in Detroit, Kwame Kilpatrick, I think it was.
It's
he was doing
the
some
other
wild
now. They have actual ATMs in a daggone church.
Man,
I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I think the reason for them doing it was a bad thing.
I mean, I'm just saying, if my career don't work out for me, I think I'm gonna go be a pastor because they be making bank. They be making some money.
Yeah. So Tim, point. Tim's comment. There was a lot of action taken prior to my video. I talked with Lucas and Phil Goss about all this prior. Yes. And Lucas touched on the whole US ARC part and all of that too. So again, you couldn't have done it any better, Tim. I think that I know it's a burden, but if there's anybody at this particular point that can positively keep it going, is you. In a way where Lucas, I do think that as long as Lucas keep himself separate from that fool, the message is definitely always clear. And I think that, like I said, Lucas got personal game and personal skin in the game, but he's real about everything. He's real about every account, and I appreciate dude. I want him to take a break from the shit though. I think again, watching him, the emotions are so deep that I don't think nobody should have to carry that burden, for anybody. Although they're doing it for the community, be careful of carrying a burden that literally screws up your day, and all of your energy is going to respond into this. Samson is done. If anybody decides that they're going to do relations with him, and I'm not saying that, in the sense of how some people saying, then I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that if anybody decides to do relations with him, you get what you deserve. I will say that. You get what you deserve. There, Maki go. Maki, you got to translate it.
She did.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sure. Mikey, Elias, come on, Elias. Like, come on, Mikey. Mikey, come on. We're not that bright over here. They only taught us Spanish and French in schools. we ain't get nothing else.
We had German at my school.
Latin.
Nobody trying to learn no German.
I did do Latin. I had to do Latin because I was in a medical health professional program, and all of your medical terminology comes from Latin, so I had to do Latin.
Look at us now, all of us pronouncing these Latin names for these reptiles.
That too, right? Excuse me, Nicole. Oh, what happened? What I do? What I say?
Oh no, I must have missed something. I was playing Candy Crush.
Did I miss something? KT, what I miss? I'm in trouble. I don't know what I did. Big facts. Speak on it, big sissy. When I slap. No, when at church, I basically gave me Cash App or QR codes. I said, oh, hell no. Wait a minute. Cash App and QR codes? Okay. Hey, bro. Archibald Daddy in the house. My babies are doing amazing. Speaking of quality breeders, there you go. Sick with it, ball pythons. Speak of people who understands their customers and the passion behind it, and them having the same passion, the over communication. I learned so much from you, G. And just keeping people in tune. Even Dre, I'm treating you. I treated you like a real customer, didn't I? I didn't just say to hell with you. And this is the damn animal you gonna get.
Oh my goodness.
No, but again, because it makes me feel better knowing when the animal is going to people who love them the way that I do. And like I said, the guy who purchased last week, he's been amazing. Even when I text him the other day, he is not tripping. You know, I promised him I won't text him again. I just wanted to get one more checkup to make sure she's okay. And he already got her out, and you know, he wants to make her an ambassador. He actually got a really sweet girl too. She actually reminds me of T'Challa.
Look, I'm excited.
I'm in a market for a specific morph. You got it.
Talking to G.
What morph, Maki? So I haven't posted them all on Wolf Market. Like I told y'all, it's a process. I did take more of them to the show, but I didn't post them all on Wolf Market. I might post a couple more today.
Oh, okay, never mind. That's not bad. I thought she was talking to Sick with it, but she said she's talking to you.
Oh, you gotta what morph? I mean, if you're talking about reticulated pythons, you saw the mom and the father. I can't make a morph out of them that you ain't gonna get.
I don't think I ever heard of that one. She said Black Nightmare.
I don't know what that is. That's somebody that made up, because the only black reticulated python that's black is the golden child. And that's just the golden child. If someone tried to throw something else or another twist on it.
How you get? She said it's a ball python.
Oh no, I don't have a black nightmare. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is. Give me the real genetics. Stick with it. You know what a black nightmare is? I can tell you I don't have it because I don't know what it is.
Maki arguing with herself in the chat. She having a revelation. Well, now that the secret is out, thanks to Nicole, I bought a retake off of Nicole. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was a secret?
I mean,
I didn't know how Martin said if it was secret, you should have told me it was secret.
But no, I'm excited though.
It's actually the one Dre getting is one of my favorites too. Actually, it was one that was on Wolf Market, but it shed it again. And it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. But I'm okay. It's going to you.
I watched that video you sent me like 4 times, although you didn't really put the snake in the camera. I was like, this old motherfucker here. She was like, this is the one you getting, Dre. I was like, damn, Nicole. I thought we talked about this camera stuff.
You make me sick.
But she is pretty though.
Black pastel clown. Orange. Okay, so you throwing me off with the orange. Who are you talking to with these bullshit genetics, Maki? Black pastel clown. Yes, what I can tell you is that is one of the first pairings I'll have of 2024. But no, it's going to be black pastel cypress clown.
She meant orange dream because I'm definitely black.
Oh, orange dream. Okay, all right. Yeah, so I got all those genes here. So yes, eventually I'll have it, but that's not a black. That's not a black. Like
Black
that's
Nightmare.
Not a black snake. That's not a black snake.
I've never heard of a black nightmare. Let me look this up. See if that's a thing. Black nightmare ball.
If I ever get one, it will be from you. Oh, thank you, G. They are spoiled. They sweethearts though.
Oh, apparently it's a thing. Black nightmare ball python.
Turn the camera around. But it's the thing. It's the thing is that someone took the damn genetics and just called it whatever they want. That's what I hate about the ball python community.
They don't look like nothing special with the genetics. Is black pastel.
It's a black pastel. OD black pastel clown.
It don't look like anything
super spectacular. A black nightmare.
But yeah,
a black nightmare to me would be an old dog snake. I can hear Maki voice in her Maki voice.
Brother.
Yeah, so Elias, it may be a thing, but it's not a thing. Like I'm so sick of people just calling. It's a black pastel OD clown, OD black pastel clown. Ain't no damn black nightmare. Yeah, so all right, so sick what it said. They call it a black nightmare. Whatever.
I mean, I feel like it's something like that.
In that case, yes, I will have some in 2024.
I feel like something like that. It should be a solid black snake.
Me too. That's what I was saying, right? Because
So I was like,
yeah,
I'm not into ball
not even a
pythons.
popping snake, really. Honestly, like unless you put something else in it.
I'm not into ball pythons, and I don't keep up with the genetics. But I was like, I ain't never heard of no black
That
nightmare.
don't pop. That snake that you just showed me don't pop. It's nothing special about it.
Nah.
I mean, compared, like I'll give you an example. I can see the OD, popping in there. Yeah. So if you put leopard in there, for example, I have an OD leopard that will give you a nice little look to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
A black pastel OD leopard will give you a nice look to that, but it doesn't make it like a black. When somebody names something like that, you better come out with an all black snake with maybe just a little dot or something on it.
So that's a black nightmare, but they just call this one a super black pastel. That could have been a black nightmare.
That could have been a black nightmare, but even like a super black pastel, that I don't know. Like I expected like a panda color, like an all black with a little dot or something. Right. Because I can't believe it's not butt. I'm going to make a normal jean parquet because I can't believe it's not butt. I love it. That's the new look, Jeremy. You can make that the new name for Lessa. A Lessa ball python is now parquet.
So this is the other one. She says she got the black pastel leopard.
Yeah, that's see. So if you want any of that, you can get Aussie. Aussie already made all of that. Is available. But all those jeans I have to make some of the same stuff, but I would have never called it black nightmare. I can't with you, Maki. I can't. All right, so we're gonna wrap it on up. First of all, thank you all for tuning in this morning on your day off. For those of you who are off, and join us for Reptiles and Cocktails this Saturday. Balls and Things Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. And you can have Herb Collectors at 8 p.m. on Thursday. And you also have Ray's favorite podcast on Fridays at 5 o'clock p.m. And then right after, Hair Down Fridays. Can I see some baby retics? Absolutely. Hold on. Let me go grab some for you real fast.
Go ahead and grab mine while you're at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yours just ate again.
Oh, okay. Well, leave her alone. So I'm gonna need help, y'all, with this retic I got from the car. I was gonna name it Lady Tiz, but her head big enough, so I'm gonna figure out a fire name for her because she is beautiful and she's gonna be a big girl. So if you got some name recommendations for me, hit me up. I appreciate it. I like Marvel themed names, strong names, so we'll see. But I want to see what y'all got. Yeah, Elias, I couldn't tell her that while she was here. She probably would try to cuss me out, so I couldn't say it to her face. So we're gonna see. Happy Juneteenth, of course. Who said I got more retics than Burns? Y'all know I always got stuff going on over here. I have so ooh shit that hurt. As of now, yes, I have more. I got three retics, 2 burns, but I'm about to be at 4 burns real soon. So don't trip. It's a female. She's a female. Let me go look at the genetics. She is Golden Child Sunfire, 50% head mocha, 66% head albino, but give y'all a little sneaky peek here. She is fire. That's the one I got from Nicole. So she's going to golden child, but I like the pattern down her back. So I'm super excited. Um, yeah. So I'm ramping up for the future. I got future plans, and the retakes that I have are going to be they're all pets. I'm going to be breeding berms. That pied berm that I had, I'm getting a female for. The pied berm cost me some money, so he got a lot of work to do in the future. Um, the green, I have a green head granite head albino. I'm getting the male for her as well. So yeah, the berms is gonna be it for me. The retakes, I'm gonna leave that to Nicole. I'm gonna admire from a distance.
What?
And yeah.
You already got more. You claim you was never gonna get more, and you already got more. So shut up.
Y'all see how she just interjected in my
I
conversation?
tried to
And what
grab
we're talking
some
about.
that didn't
You know
eat,
what I'm saying?
give you still a variation of the one. So this is, let me see it. This is one of my favorites. Y'all know the super motley albinos with the yellow heads. You can't see her yellow right now because of the light. Let me see if I can turn this light on. That might work.
Yeah, I got him like over almost 2 months ago. I just released that video. But yeah, everybody thought that was a completely different snake. I'm like, it's the same snake.
So that's one of my favorites.
Oh, she do got a nice yellow head.
Yeah, but you got to see the one that I have price high specifically because I don't want it to sell.
Well,
Actually got
I was gonna say which one of them you holding back.
he got it's another one. So I actually, believe it or not, it was one. The odds was one of 346, and I got 3 in that clutch.
Nice.
Yeah. And then this is one of the albino golden childs.
Because Elias, they grow fast. They do grow fast.
Oh yeah, they grow really fast. Like if you see Dre's compared to the ones that I had in my hand, that one been eaten since it came out the egg. Totally bigger than these.
Speaking of Elias, the retake I got from KJ is only 2 years old. So that should give you an idea. And he's not overweight at all.
This is, let me see.
Yeah,
so this is another one of the Motley Mochinos. So that black one is just like Mama.
I was hoping Justin joined today. Pipeline.
He might be listening. He be working all the time. He always got stuff to do.
Hey, I met up with him over the weekend. He hooked me up this weekend.
Look, they won't. Y'all know they not staying still, especially the babies. Come on.
No, that's what he takes.
Come on, baby. But as you can see, none of them are bitey at all.
You got a handful of variety right there.
Yeah. Nice. And that's not all of them. Like Dre's don't look nothing like any of these.
I gave him a little sneak peek.
Okay. I was like, don't look.
We was talking about you. I was gonna name her Lady Tiz, and I was like, no, Nicole's head is big enough, so I'm gonna need some help with some names. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is just some of them, and then we got like a beautiful white face albino. She ate last night though. She's a white face albino sunfire. But yeah, let me put them back.
She said she said she just ate.
Yeah, I fed most of them. I fed last night that would eat again.
But as soon as I get an update, I'm gonna let y'all know. I didn't even tell Instagram or nobody that I was getting one yet. Ooh, these allergies. But I had to do it. I had to support my sis. I've been telling her I was gonna support. And she was shocked that I actually wanted this one. She was like, I thought she wanted to wait on the super motley golden childs. I was like, nah, this one right here. This one look good. So I'm excited. Had to support the fam. Go ahead and get an anaconda, Maki. You good? That's them the heavy hitters right there. Shit. Man, Nicole been giving me that question treatment since we met, so she already know. We ain't playing no games over here.
Here's one of my favorites. And this one is actually one that's probably more economical. You see that?
But y'all see how you could tell she around this retake because she didn't react at all, and that's just what it is.
Well, because it wasn't a real one. It was just that her reaction to this light.
Even if it was a real one, it wouldn't. About it. You know what I'm saying? Like we've seen it, but we all know it's just like to somebody who's not in the snakes, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh no,
calm down.
no.
What, you see Elias' question?
We'll give you 20 question entry for that reason.
I said, look, I said,
no, I'm familiar with him.
Look, I said Nicole been interviewing me all my life, so she already know.
Look, though, Elias, though, the first person I sold to, he was cracking up. Look, and I was like, look, I don't mean any harm. My biggest fear is selling my snakes and then seeing that the snake died or something like that. I said, so I have to have in good conscience that this snake is going to the best person. So here's all the questions. So when I asked him, can I see your IG? He was like, sure. His IG, it just answered everything for me. He is like we are. Like he lives where there's a lot of land. He lets his animals go out all the time. He uses them for educational, so he believes in handling them a lot. Like the second day after he got her, he already had her like out and, you know, just getting her acclimated and stuff. And I was just really happy about that.
Y'all know how to support my sis. I've been saying I was going to. I was telling them how you was
a showstopper. Everybody's
that one is nice. That's a white face albino.
Yep, she's a white face albino sunfire.
Beautiful. I like that striping down the back. I was telling them how you was shocked that I wanted the one that I bought. She was like, I thought you was waiting on the super,
yeah,
the super valley.
For sure you was gonna go for the super, but honestly, so yours is on the last four, like they're the four, the bottom row, the four. It's actually the first one on that row. All of them was so unique that it was hard for us to figure out the genetics. I had to get the breeder and Claudius. All three of us had to come together, like, well, damn, like what the, like we
mad scientists at work, but her pattern is beautiful, y'all. And then she's got that golden child, so I definitely can't wait.
I love her belly pattern. Like she got that, like it's crazy. It's almost like you can see the golden child coming straight up her side. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Definitely beautiful. Well, let me get to my interrogation when I. So ball pythons, although I want to make sure the person is familiar, you know, with husbandry, it's not
different from retics.
Yeah, it's totally different. I don't really not saying I don't care. You got to be a fucked up person to mess up a ball python. But for most people, the reticulated pythons, they see this snake and they like, oh, it's so cute, and I want it, not realizing in 3 months this is not going to be the size. And then their mother said they can't have it, their father said they can't have it, or something like that, and my snake ended up dead somewhere. I'm gonna take it personal. So, like I told the guy, you know, it takes a lot to get these animals here healthy. It takes. These are Charlie and Hefe kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just the animal to sell for me. And I, like I said, I you know, I'm not a person who has to sell snakes to pay the bills. My husband got that. So I can wait. You know what I mean? I can wait for the right buyer. I have to feel 110% comfortable when I put that animal in that box to ship it. The person getting it is going to do the best they can. Now, if they do the best they can and something happens, I can't do nothing about that. But they got to do the best they can.
You just out here neglecting the animal.
Right.
It's a whole different ball game.
All of them are from the same clutch, believe it or not. I mean, that clutch was fire. All of them was from the same clutch.
It's crazy the variety, because like you look at the parents and you be like,
right.
And it's interesting to see how animal genetics work versus human genetics, because you can look at humans and be like, okay, you look like that. Like me and my mom, we twins. My mom has an actual twin, but I look like my mom more than anything. That is a new one. I ain't never heard of my dad looks like Ice Cube, actually. Yeah, we called my dad Cube when we was younger, but he looked like Ice Cube. I don't look nothing like Ice Cube. Now, if you say T-Pain, Mark Henry, or something like that, then yeah, but I ain't never heard that one.
Yeah, because I mean, not saying that I don't want, I don't want to have to, have to keep them, but I can, you know what I'm saying? And I just want the best homes for them. And retics are amazing pets for the right people.
Sorry, I just thought of a name.
Oh.
KT texted me and then I thought of something. I was like, I got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I love them. Like I'm already in love with these animals. And if y'all could have seen, Slim is in love with them. Like Slim handles these. Like believe it or not, he handles all the babies, and yeah, we fallen in love with them. So this is actually a beautiful animal. And then after everybody reacted, Slim said, "Baby, you should have made her more expensive," but I didn't because of her. To me, you can find maybe not this year, but you can find eventually another white phase albino sunfire if you go to a Bob Clark maybe, or Claudius might can even produce one.
I can say there's a couple. I've seen quite a few of them on Morph Market, but
yeah, not now though.
Yeah,
So
nah, not as many.
yeah,
Not
so
as
2
many.
years ago you would have seen. That's the weird thing. You would have seen quite a few of them, but now it's not. But to me, the way I price my animals is based on the value, not just the value for me, but am I motivated to sell them? Like, so that's another part. And then some of them is like the super motleys. People want those dog golden childs. Like people want them.
That's why when you text me or when we was messaging and you said something, I was like, I already got the IMG, so it's cool. I mean, IMG is
Yours got
essentially.
that iridescence too.
Oh,
Your snake got it too.
I literally just wanted Golden Child. That was literally the only gene I wanted to make sure that was in my retic that I wanted was Golden Child. So I remember when you told me that you had eggs and you told me that the retics and everything, and I was just like, I'm gonna hold off on buying a Golden Child because I was literally in the process. Josh from South Bay, where I've gotten a couple of my other animals, I was like, I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. My sis just had a clutch. I gotta go support her, so I'm gonna wait on her babies to drop.
Yeah, I mean, it was an amazing touch. Like all these animals are amazing to look at. Like I said, I can't show y'all all of them. Maybe one day I'll do. Maybe I'll do that. Who am I interviewing for? I got to remember see who I'm interviewing Saturday. But maybe I'll just, you know what? After I'll do a video. I'll do a video showing them all off, the ones that's not sold.
Sorry, I'm slobbering.
Uh-uh.
Y'all know I'm gonna do a whole video too.
Yeah, but yeah, this is one of my favorites. Say, I just so pretty. Say, I just so pretty. Yeah. But I'm definitely gonna put a couple more. I have some beautiful Motley Mochino sunfires too, y'all. That's I haven't put them all on Morph Market yet. Just be patient with me. If it's anything that you're looking for and it's not on Morph Market, just let me know and I can give you like Dre. I can just give you a picture. I can just show you different stuff. But it's not that if they're not on Morph Market, it's even because I just haven't parted with them mentally yet, or they didn't have the 6 meals I want them to have. I don't believe in putting anything on Morph Market until they take 6 meals and they digest them.
She wanted to keep all of them sick with it. She wanted to keep everything. Slim was like, listen here.
Look, Slim was like, you sell them. You need me to put them on Morph Market? They all can't stay, baby. They all can't stay. So what I did was on the ones that, like it's one I really want to keep. And if someone won her, they just want to pay a pretty penny for it. But she is a powerhouse and she'll be able to produce some amazing animals. So, and the value of her, if she don't sell, that's my answer to Slim. She didn't sell, babe. She didn't sell.
If I don't know about Nicole, but if I ever was to get one, it would have to be a patternless. It's not something I'm dying to get. That'll be literally something where I'm just like, if I have an open enclosure and I got everything else that I'm really wanting to get, maybe, but nah, not really. I already got an anaconda.
That's what I was going to say. So for me, the African rock is equivalent to the anaconda. Believe it or not, retics are not what people think they make them to be. And I'm not saying anacondas you really got to work with, and you really got to work with African rocks.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you don't have to work with retics, but literally I produced these. So I touched their heads out the egg and they were just fine. They were used to people out the egg.
I feel like African rocks are just berms with anaconda attitude.
A combination. They the hood red.
No, but they're beautiful snakes. That's why I said I would get a patternless one. But it's not something I'm dying to get, honestly. I'll probably get a Dumerals bowl before I get African rock.
G, you talking about the babies or the adults? If you're talking about the adults, the real big ones, the ones that's 14 feet or more, they get one 10 to 12 pound rabbit once every 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the snake. But most of my snakes will go 4 to 6 weeks easily without eating a second meal if I give them a 10 to 12 pound. When they were younger, I really want them to be, I mean, they're going to naturally get big and muscular, but I don't ever want them to be obese. And all of mine are heavy enough, being what I call lean retics.
Mm-hmm.
They big, but they still lean compared. The babies, I'm feeding them now as they show interest in wanting food. You can feed one of them, like Dre's. Yours ate again last night. She ate like the day after you and I had talked. So but she's one of the ones that let you know I'm hungry. And then some of the babies will eat once a week and be good. And then they'll also show signs that they're hungry. So I really pay attention to the snake.
What size you feed them?
These right now are getting red pups. So all of them, once they get sold, have taken. I started them off with live, but I don't put them on Morph Market, or I won't sell them until I know it'll take a frozen thawed red pup. Which all of them now would take a red pup. And out of the whole clutch, I only had to force feed one, and that was last week. And just to teach it that you are a retic, you eat food. And now that one is fine. But all the rest of them, when they came out, they was like, where the food at? Where the food at, mama? Gee, you would be fine.
Do it.
I think that, again, for this is my thing. If you never kept one, but you're familiar with snakes, if you can accommodate the space, and when I say the space, if you're raising them right, most of them I don't personally think need any more than an 8x3x3. But I have some who could probably just been fine in an 8x2x2 because they don't move as much as the others. And I have one that's in a 10 foot because this girl thinks she's a green tree. So it all you know what I'm saying? It all depends on the snake. They are all different. Now, one retic is going to be the same. So if you get one who thinks is a green tree, then you want to get them something with more height. If you get one who's lazy, they good in an 8x2x2. Like I got
That's
one
funny.
who she don't even want to come out every day. She's just like, hey, what's up? She'll come to the corner. It all depends on the snake.
That's funny. My cow retic is lazy, and then the big one I got from KJ do be everywhere. So
They're all different.
Yeah. So who's the real king of big snakes?
Mainly real king of big snakes, mainly reticulated python or green.
But like that's comparing apples to oranges at that point. It's
Yeah.
really no. I mean, one is heavy, one is long. I mean, so I don't really feel like that's a comparison, honestly.
Yeah. So I would say the retic is, for me, it's a long snake, but I don't consider it like the king.
I mean, but even then, though, what characteristics are contributing to consider a snake the king of big snakes?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, because I remember we've also talked about boas being the ultimate big snake as far as like how, like punch for punch, boas packs them. They're not getting nowhere near as big as a retic or an anaconda, but that's going to depend on like what's being factored into that.
Exactly. Yeah, because I mean, and I say that to be honest, and I say it to Dre all the time. My boas are harder to manage as far as having them out the enclosure than my retics. Once my boa get onto something, it's like waiting for it to get off. Where my retics, I can tickle their belly and I can get them to scoop forward. You can't do that with a boa.
Yeah, boas got grip. They got that baby grip, like that newborn baby grip. My God.
And the food response to me, like people make it seem like retic's food response is a beast. It can be, but boas, it will be. Like I don't give up what you do.
Sick what it said. Damn, you got boas too.
Yes, I had them first. I had them first. I'm actually breeding a pair right now. But yeah, I had my boas before I had the well, I had 3 of my boas before I had the retics. I just got the other 2 last year. But
Listen, it's stuff she got that I forgot she had. Me and
right, Dre always like, I forgot you had that. I
both
forgot.
me and Nicole got some diverse collections, but she got me beat by far.
Yeah, I don't have
I
no
don't even know what to say
no
to that comment.
healers.
But I don't know
Because
even
reticulated pythons have eaten people recently in Asia. Okay, all right. So Rick. All right.
I
So
just don't see the correlation of
no. So I think part of it too, Rick, is that a lot of times you see that that's lies. If you talk to somebody who's really in Indonesia, it didn't really happen. But if it did, you got to remember these are captive bred. Reticulated pythons in a jungle of Indonesia can eat monkeys.
they get way bigger too.
Wild pigs, yeah, get way
Unlimited
bigger and
space.
everything. And then the people in Indonesia are not my size. You're not getting this ass past your shoulders. The people in Indonesia don't have one, and they're short. I'm just saying.
No, she didn't just say that. Like,
it's just the people
but we in church.
Taller. They're, like I'm short. I'm 5'3", but in Indonesia they're like 4 foot, and they tiny people. So if it happens, it's rare. It's normally like somebody who went out there and shouldn't have been in the jungle in the first place, that deep. So I'm not saying that it's impossible. I can just tell you that none of these captive bred is thinking about even attempting because they don't realize the capacity of, well, none of mine are big enough, I think, to take a human, period. We got to remember that they're smart too. They know what they can and cannot digest.
So, Nicole, I'm looking at the next comment, and as much as I hate to say this, there's no talking because this is somebody that watches TV and believes everything they see on TV.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to dismiss it. If that's what you want to believe, that's okay. I'm not going to dismiss it.
It's just something like
as fact, as a person who
anything.
meets them, they're not.
If I'm not there in person, I'm gonna assume that it's been doctored and they said anacondas haven't eaten people. Just because it's not documented doesn't mean it hasn't happened. We don't know everything.
And I will tell you this: talk to my friend from Africa. Anacondas eat people. If you jump in the water and swim below the waters, they do it unintentionally. He even said that they will purge people if they accidentally get them. But it's rare. Like it's something that happens like once ever in 100 years or so. It's in their history. It's not something that happens on a daily basis. I can tell you the reticulated pythons that we keep in captivity. This girl knows that I am the human. She learned this the day that she came out the egg. The first thing it saw was a human. The first thing it was fed was a rodent. That's all it knows. It doesn't have to have any other type of survival instinct to eat a human, which I'm assuming will be last resort, just like for us. You see,
like you also said,
crashed, and that's all you can eat with humans.
In captivity, we take away that obstacle of them not knowing when their next meal is coming. We put the snakes on a schedule for a reason. So on feeding day or when they know it's around the time, they'll show that behavior. They know it's coming. So therefore, a lot of people are worried, like, what if your snake starts sizing you up? Complete myth. They won't. That's not how they operate. But in that same token, they know when they're going to be fed. It's really not that hard.
Rick, I have a friend and breeders who actually visits those countries and actually spends, some people who live there, and they would tell you that those videos are photoshopped, including the video of the big anaconda on a tree lifting a van, photoshopped. So people purposely create stuff.
Now we got
real,
and now we got AI real bad right now.
Yeah,
so it looks really real. I'm just if I didn't see it for myself, it was on the news, you believed it. Okay.
What was your question, Maki? I'm sorry.
Maki, oh yeah, you did see it. She said, I mean, it technically wasn't a question, but she said we don't ever get to see no boas, just the damn retics. I sent some hate right there, just the damn retics.
I missed it. Wait, what was it?
Hold on, I got you.
Okay. We don't never get to see no boas, just the damn retics. That's not true.
She is fed up.
On my IG. There are boas on my IG. That is not true. The only boas y'all haven't seen is.
Oh no, I'm sorry. This was the question she was talking about.
Oh. I know you go directly for 8 foot as babies, but would a 6 foot suffice? I think you're wasting your money. So you got to keep in mind that even a 6 foot PVC is going to cost you at minimum $2,500 for a reticulated python. That's another thing. A reticulated python should not be in a what you call it, animal plastics, anything. I'm sorry. You have to have these custom
or
made.
Zen habitats. No snake should
Right.
have Zen habitats. If we being
You need to have these custom made. And let me tell you why. The PVC enclosures for my worms and the PVC for my retics is way thicker than the ones for my boas.
Nicole, they on your ass in the comments.
Oh,
Spicy, what up, Spicy? They just jumped in. Matter of fact, happy Father's Day to both of y'all, Spicy and
hey, Spicy.
They both on you. They say, yeah, I ain't never seen no.
It's Spicy has sea bows. I pulled the boas out on hair down. Stop the Spicy.
Matter of fact, how the blood bows doing? I ain't heard about them in a minute.
They're amazing. Y'all see, if y'all look on IG, my granddaughter has the blood boa all the time. If you go to YouTube, y'all just
I see the IG. I just been meaning to ask you about it because I remember the day you picked them up, you called me and you was excited.
But, I have the boas alive. Had them fools out yesterday. One of my best videos is with me, or one of my favorite pictures with me holding all of the boas.
Nicole, look at the comment.
You don't see boas Come on now.
Nicole.
Now a video on YouTube.
Nicole.
Hey, Tuesday.
You know what you need to do, Nicole? Go ahead and do a boa update on your YouTube, on your YouTube. That's what you need to do.
Actually, there's a video already out. Go look at all the boas on my video. Ain't it, Dre?
How recent is it though? You took too long to answer. They want an update. Okay?
There's not a whole. All right, I'll give y'all an update on the boas. So
I'm advocating for y'all.
I fed one last night. One is in shed. I'll give y'all an update on the boas. Maybe I'll bring them out on Reptiles and Cocktails on Saturday.
I'm trying to advocate for the people. You know what I'm saying?
I'll do that for the people. So if you show up on Saturday, all the boas will come out on Saturday. I just thought, I don't know. Y'all see the retics because the retics climb the house. The boas normally find a corner. Listen, y'all hear my burn back here knocking on the door?
But she also, in her defense, she just had a clutch of retic baby. So that, that's priority.
But no, the retics the retics I can let out and they kind of coexist with me. So I can have the retics out and still do everything. So y'all see them in the background and stuff like that. But you don't see the retics all the time.
Bo would be trying to climb to the ceiling fan if you let him. Hey, y'all take it easy on my sis now. Yeah, don't do too much now. They said, they said, all I'm saying is we ain't seen no boas on the 2-piece. Sickle said these po boas ain't getting no love.
Right? Two of them breathe for like 3 months. If you look at where Bosa at, where Bosa at, Elias, stop it. Because if you look at my lives, you see the boas, because they the ones that's always behind me. I have a boa in my hand the entire video when I did the US Ark video. So y'all be paying attention. Y'all only know.
Talking about you talking about what you did then. We want to see what you do.
No, the US Ark video, the one for US Ark Florida, that was just a couple months ago. That was just when
months, Nicole.
It was a month ago. If you go right now, you don't even see a retic whole full video for months. Like I might do.
All right, Maki, translate. You know we don't speak that island now. We need to know.
Bullying Nicole. They can't bully me. You know I fight. What?
Y'all get her started, y'all. She can start sipping her coffee.
Man, what's up,
don't get her started.
2 months too late. You know what?
I'm mad that
the difference is that when the boas are out, y'all can't see them because they're not active like the retics. The retics are climbing up high, so y'all see them in the back of the videos and stuff. I actually took the boas out on the live we did. Recently.
You did on TikTok.
It was TikTok. Yeah. So show up. The boas be out. The boas.
She got a point.
Do a live. Well, I can't show the female because she just ate. But I can show the males. Oh, and the baby female, the younger female. I ain't seen no damn boas. KT, you lying.
You got your own boa. Go look at it. It's like
Hey, Keisha. Keisha, they getting on my nerves this morning. No, it's just the difference of the fact that retics, y'all see them in the background. I can clean my house. I can do stuff. The retics coexist. So that's what's cool about them. They coexist with us.
Y'all just came from my sis hard, like in the last.
The boas be knocking shit over. It didn't go hide somewhere and then lock it up on the shit they knocked.
How big is your biggest boa?
Oh, that would be Keiko's. He got to be clearly about 6'7" now.
So you already know, because Luther, I put him on the floor the other day so I can like clean out his enclosure, give him some fresh water. This fool knocked over a whole stool because he climbed it and he was too heavy and tried to reach something. And I looked over and he looked at me and cocked back. I was like, "You did it! Anybody tell you to climb it?"
That's funny.
They get into too much, so I tried to give him some freedom, and I was like, "Nah, yo ass going into a holding bin because you're doing too much."
Yeah, but the retics are different, Maki. So you can see where the retics are when they go to knock something over. Boas is low, like so you don't know. You just see some shit fall and you don't know where they at.
And honestly, if you've never held an adult boa, they're strong as shit.
They're stronger than retics. I don't
They are
care.
They are thick. They are super strong.
I can move. Y'all see me carrying big retics all the time, right? I can move the head of that retic. I can do all that to guide it to where I wanted to go. A boa, y'all know, makes its own. They gonna do what they want to do.
Man, listen, trying to pry a boa off of something that's wrapped around is like trying to pry a chicken bone out of an infant's hand. It's almost impossible. It's not gonna work.
Jeremy said his has an infatuation with pop.
Man, yes.
That's saying they be different. Are y'all boas defensive in their enclosure? Not mine.
Not at all.
Not at all.
None of my snakes are defensive in their enclosure, but
yeah, not at all.
And they all get fed in their enclosure too.
You know, I mean, I can get in their enclosure. I mean, y'all see that. Like that's, but see, I do a lot of that stuff because with the retics, because people don't think that you ever could, including some of the people who thought they mastered the retics. Okay, so what I try to do is show people, forget everything that anyone ever told you about these animals, learn them for yourself and build relationships with them. Go ahead. What you say? What's wrong?
I'm looking at Elias' comment. Elias, what's your biggest boa? Your biggest boa probably about a half an ounce.
Right.
Talk about they ain't that
Elias,
man, bro.
Elias. It's not even the heaviness of them. It's the strength. It's the strength.
Hold up.
The heaviness.
I'm not about to be taking no backlash from somebody wearing a glove to handle their boa now. You better stop with the madness. Because them things are strong. And when you take a 6-foot snake and you like, so Luther's 6.5, Luther's almost 10 years old. He's 6.5 foot and he's like 23 pounds.
Let me see if one of the boas are out.
Look. Now y'all done made my sissy feel bad. Now she better get a boa. And bullied her. Cyberbullying. But when you take a 23-pound snake and you stretch it across 6-7 foot, listen, hailing at a snake like that and it's moving, yes, it's heavy and they are strong, bro. They are strong. Just wait till what's your boa's name? Avicii? No, that's the blood. I forgot your boa's name. Wait till your boa is an adult. You're gonna take that back. You know, it's gonna be sweating. I'm telling you. That's why people ask me to take Luther out. Hades. Jimmy is 6 feet and shit. You got lucky with Jimmy, but I'm telling you, Jimmy might be 6 feet, but he ain't Luther 6 feet. I mean,
I don't want you. You need water too. Pearl needs water. You need water, Mama? You want on the bottom? No, she just ate. Get Keiko's and Romeo. But get Keiko's first. He might be in shade, but get him first.
All right. Elias, when your snake is that big, that's a 6-foot snake. When it's that big,
Michael's gonna go get him for you.
Let me know. 6.5 foot, but he is 23 pounds. And he ain't overweight. That's homeboy heavy.
He's demon.
And even with the anaconda, I ain't using no gloves. We taking bites.
Yeah, see, I just won't get the anaconda because it's. I don't like animals who don't give you warning. Like anacondas just be like,
you got a point. But I've learned to only handle her with long sleeves, which is kind of hard in the summertime because I be sweating. My fat ass be sweating. But she's gotten better for sure. I just definitely need to work with her more. She's still not worse than the Cayman. So
I think lizards are for me like my lizards are the only animals I use gloves with.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, well, I mean to get them out anyway. Michael, he's shade, so you got to turn him. Yeah, to get him out anyway. Hey, Kate. Hey, big boy. Yeah, he a deep shade. It's mommy. So here's one.
Beautiful. Yeah, see,
Elias down because they can't see the colors. He's in deep shade.
Elias, when you got boas that big, okay, then we can holler. Because 6 foot is cool.
Turn it off real fast. I want to see what happens. There we go. Nope. Well, yeah, that might work. I'm trying to show
beautiful snake.
Anything.
Is that a moon glow?
No, he's a pastel dream monster tail het albino.
Beautiful.
But he's in shade. He's really like, turn it back on, Michael. His colors are really like, yeah, you can see him more.
Yeah.
And then I love his tail. Hold on.
Find the camera. There we go. There we go. Don't do them like you did me with everything.
He's turning. Shut up. He's turning. Show your tail. He's like, I'm just scared, lady. Hold on. There we go. So that's my favorite part of him.
He's beautiful.
Yeah. You can see where
Nicole done turned 50 and went back to the crop tops.
When I've always worn a crop top. That should be the joke at work. If I could wear a crop top to work, I would. I love crop tops.
Oh my goodness. That is a beautiful snake. How old is he?
This one is 4. He's going on 4 years old. All right. So then Michael's going to get Romeo. And if you can see, I don't know if y'all can see, you can't see how thick he is. He's really thick.
They don't seem to be slow growers, Mikey. They definitely are slow growers. Boa metabolism is way slower than most others.
And they should be. Like, you should not be feeding them as much. I wonder if you got him? All right, so Michael go get Romeo. And the burn is coming out now. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Spool cell. Elias, we do. We don't. He talking about we don't pay attention to.
I'm looking at his page now, and Jimmy ain't got nothing on my boa or your boa. He still got some growing to do. You know what I'm saying? Still got some growing to do.
Yeah. Now my boas only eat once a month.
Luther is probably 2.5 times the size of that snake.
No, I think 2 is the way Elias is holding him.
But I could just look at. I can't even put my hands around almost the top of Luther's back. But Jimmy big. Jimmy ain't he ain't up there yet. He got some growing to do.
And it's Romeo. Now Romeo is he's not the youngest, but he's the youngest of the older 2. And look, already, y'all, look what he did. Mm-hmm. His tail is on my thing. Get off it. Knock it off. I don't go through this shit with my retics. Get off.
Nicole is a black mom. She just yelled at a damn snake.
He done wrapped his damn tail on his. So Elias, this is what I mean. I could tickle my retic and get it off. This damn thing
Nicole said, "Get off."
Look at him.
She yelled at a snake that don't have ears.
Look at this fool. Disrespectful. work at all. Thank you, Michael. So yeah, that's why you see retics more. Because boas just be doing dumb stuff. Michael, turn that fan that.
Yeah, but look, boas do be on the move, man. They on the go. Cause
yeah, you're gonna grab
even my red tail, when I have her out, she just be doing this, and I'm just like, bro, what are you doing?
Look, you ain't going over there. Go that way. You can go any place other than over there. And not in my hair either. Right. And you know we don't do around the necks with boas either. You can go over my arms. He's in my hair. Do y'all see this shit? Have y'all ever seen this with a retip? He is in my hair. This is why. This is why. Get out my hair.
Right, and I got, how many boas you got, Nicole?
5.
I got 6, so trust me, we get it. We get
So
it.
I'm joking, y'all, but seriously, for me, the retics are easier to manage. These boas they use their strength. Where retics just kind of like, oh, I'll use it if I have to, but I ain't trying to flex on you. I'm not trying.
Yeah.
Boas be flexing on you.
Yeah, but I like boas exactly for that for their power, the way their body is structured. Boas are they're just nice, but they be on some bullshit.
Let her go the other way because I don't have else going. All right,
even the big retic I just took in Django, or even my berms,
you can't get
they
the
don't be doing too much. They don't be doing too much.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's see if he don't get it. He ate last night. Hey, bud. He ate last night, so we gotta be careful.
Oh, he look good.
Don't he? He showed sweet Elias. See how sweet he is now.
That's funny. I fed all my snakes last night.
See how
He
sweet.
look good. He got a fat head.
Not act like this for the people before.
He got a fat head.
Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Hi. I know you just ate. Now we're gonna put you back.
Nah, I got the gator, my guy. That's me. Well, a Cayman, but yeah. Nicole would rather handle my dwarf Cayman, which is hands down my craziest animal, but she will not deal with my anaconda.
Because I'm good with lizards.
Man, listen, that Cayman is a menace. That Cayman is a menace to society. But I love her, little psycho bitch. Telling you. Oh my god. I'm gonna feed her today. Shout out to my boy Justin Pipeline. He hooked me up over the weekend with some rats.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I tell y'all, man, bro, he dumped the freezer on me. If you didn't see my story,
Produces a lot of rats.
yeah, this was
So Jeremy, he used to be a menace too.
look, Nicole, this is the back of my car. Justin brought me all of that.
Wow.
And then
Closer.
yeah, and then I mean, like, it's true, like these are his largest. I was like, hell,
No, I ain't got no gators over here. I wish I tried to get one, but Slim was like,
That's why I was like, no, that's me. I got the cave.
That's how I ended up with the water monitor. Slim would not let me get an alligator. And which was crazy. The alligator was so much cheaper than the water monitor, right? He was like, yeah, you can get that, but you ain't getting that. That ain't coming home to this house. Not at all. Not at all. I do want one, right? Exactly.
Yo, matter of fact,
that's my dream animal when I moved to Texas.
If y'all looking for some snakes, Pipeline. He said he still got some. I don't know if he's doing live and frozen. I just need it frozen so I can check. But when I tell y'all, as much as I got, that's like 6-7 months supply for me. And I got to feed all my snakes last night, so y'all can see exactly at 18, but man, it came in clutch.
So the goal is, it used to be when my bonus daughter got 16, which would be this year, but now it's the grandkids. So if my daughter lets me take my grandkids with me the next 2 years, I'm hoping she would come too. But if not, I want it to be where the kids could at least fly on the buddy system and I would be comfortable. So I will wait till they get over 10. Although Skylar probably can go to an airport by herself, to be honest. My granddaughter is something else. Speaking of y'all got to see this. So I always tell y'all about the grandchild y'all never see. You always see Skylar and you always see Jaden. So Trey is off the chain, but Skylar got him this week. Y'all got to see this. I could not stop crying. Let me go pull it. Michael, the berm just knocked my radio over. Because the berm just knocked my radio over. All right, here you go. So this is them. Hold on. We'll set this bitch on. Set this bitch on. We'll set this bitch on. Set this bitch on. They call me Betty. You wanna run your house? You want some gangster?
I'm weak. I'm weak.
She one-handed him, y'all. He is bad. So Skylar said, I done had enough. And just literally blah, 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 with one hand. Yeah, actually, Skylar, like, you ain't leaving me. I think she would come with us. Little girl.
What part y'all trying to go to?
Okay, you can. Can you get her order and both of them? All right, y'all. We're gonna wrap it up for real this time. I'm gonna do y'all a full BOA video, an update video over the next week.
I'm excited to see that one. I need to do some updated all my pythons and all my boas video too.
Yeah.
I've had a lot change.
You show the boas.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you do yours first, because they want to see yours.
Do yours. You do yours.
Don't be trying to like distract them with me so you can prolong it. Do your video. You'll see how she just try to do yours. Oh,
do yours.
She gonna try to sneak out some more.
Live today. This would be a good day to go live. I might go live later.
I'm gonna try to sneak out some more TikTok, some more retix content on y'all.
Right.
This was pre-made. Everybody liked it. You get some beautiful snakes.
They like the retakes.
But as the people said in the chat, they said, "Fuck them retakes. We're the boas."
Yeah. Right. So actually, the Pastel Dream Monster Tail, the first one I show you, is pairing to my Hypo Jungle Motley at Sharp. So I should be able to produce some more bloods with them.
Yeah, they really got up in here and got on your ass for like a whole 10 minutes. Like, popped in.
Yes, because you did 59 snakes in 2 months.
I don't even got 59 snakes.
Have a good one, Jeremy.
Appreciate you joining.
All right, y'all. Y'all have an amazing day. It's been real. I'm glad y'all got to see some boas. I'm gonna go live on TikTok later. I'll tag you. Probably around noonish, but I ain't been on TikTok in a minute. That's my favorite place, honestly. I like TikTok, y'all.
Oh, now it's your favorite place, huh?
I mean, I like doing the lives. I do. Like, it's pretty cool.
That's what's up. I ain't gonna be able to join. But I'll watch. I got meetings today.
It's okay. I'll be there.
I'll watch.
All right, you too, G. All right, y'all. Have a good one.
Yeah, everybody have a good week.
Peace out, everyone.